my sheep. Right now you are watching the Reigning Rock podcast. And to make this moment even more spectacular, even more iconic, all you have to do is like and subscribe. Yes.
And that is right, people. Let's quickly get down to business, as I am the reigning, defending, undisputed podcast prediction champion. And the guests today all have championships. It is a championship episode because I am excellence himself. I am Ricky Goldman. Do pour yourself a drink. I put myself on badly, but it's still a drink. Like and subscribe because this is the one, the only Reigning Rock podcast. And we're going to kick things off with an interview. I brought you interviews in the past, and I'm going to bring you the biggest interview yet. So, without further ado, he is a title holder. He is all VW wrestler, sponsored by C4. The man himself. You will bow to him. You will bow to your king. He is Icon Lee. And how are you today, Icon?
I'm always well. I'm doing good. I am hot off of a victory last night at the Telford YMCA for Elite Wrestling Alliance. I kicked Party Mike Howard's ass in that ring. It was a long bout, but it was a great ending. So with that said, I'm doing good.
That is great. So you've got the championship. You retained the championship. You defeated your opponent last night. And that's really all that matters. At the end of the day, you walked out with that gold.
Yeah.
So let me quickly bring in the third champion here. The only real champion is Icon Lee. I'm not really a champion. I may hold the title, but I'm not a champion. And the man I'm going to bring in he is the quiz, and actually he is the quiz champion. He is the man with the knowledge. He is the man that knows it all. He is TJ, the Wrestling Blurred.
Yes, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm coming to you live from another business with all things wrestling and all things knowledge.
And TJ was the guy behind this, getting this interview together. So he's going to lead this interview here. I'm going to hand it over to him. I will ask questions. Also, if any viewers want to send some questions in, feel free. But I'll ask questions as we go along here. But it's mainly over to you, TJ.
All right. All right, Icon. So tell me, what first got you wanting to be interested to actually be in the wrestling industry?
Well, it all started when I was watching television in my basement at my home, and this was around 2007. So it was on DirecTV cable. I had just got cable, and I saw the pay-per-view. I saw the pay-per-view promotion for Hell in a Cell. And so when I had eventually got around to it and begged my grandmother to watch this pay-per-view, I witnessed probably, in my opinion, the best wrestler of all time, and that was The Undertaker. And so when I saw The Undertaker, that lit a little spark inside my 12-year-old mind. And I guess from then into now, I've just been on a ride, a journey to becoming one of the best professional wrestlers of all time.
Now, you come from a territory of OVW. OVW is known for making greats such as Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Batista, Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton. Do you feel Bobby Lashley, Mickey James? Do you feel how do you feel coming from that shadow and working within that shadow?
Well, I will say that I am now at OVW. I did start off at the NWF, which is in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's called Northern Wrestling Federation. The head trainer is Roger Ruffin. He's a former referee of the WWF. In the early '90s when it was the WWF. He's also got students such as Wildcat Chris Harris, Dean Ambrose, obviously John Moxley is his name now. Larry Jones, different various. He's also got people such as Jordan Clearwater of the NWA. So that's where I actually started, 2017. But back to your question as an OVW, it's kind of full circle because now I'm there. I look at how I train, look at my body, look at my charisma, my dedication, my consistency, and I think it answers all those questions. I mean, if it was 2002 and I was in that class, I think I would be motivated to go just as hard as those individuals. And I'm pretty damn sure if I was in that class, I would be in the same position as those individuals. It's a different time. Now you're competing with a bunch of kiss asses. You're competing with social media. You're competing with family and people that are already in the business. So it's a different time. You got to go the extra mile to stand out. I'm definitely very committed to bring the very best I can as Icon Lee for Ohio Valley Wrestling.
So, if my other question is, how does it work? How does it feel working with Al Snow and Enzo Amore currently right now in OVW?
I can't really speak much on Enzo. I do know Enzo is a very, very awesome person. I've had a short interaction with him at OVW backstage and in previous years in Tennessee at a certain location. But as far as Al Snow's basically let me come in. He's let me stay the same. He's let me do my thing. He recognizes that I was trained by Roger Ruffin, a great trainer in the Midwest. He's giving me the tools. He's giving me the platform to basically show off Icon Lee and everything I can do in front of their audience. And basically, I'm going to combine my audience, their audience, and I'm going to try to rise even further. And right now, I'm having a great time. So much respect to Al Snow. I got to perform at the Appalachian Arena at their Fight Night pay-per-view about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago in front of 1,600 screaming sheep. And we got a "This is awesome" chant. So I know Al Snow was very happy with that match. And so I just look forward to creating more memories under his brand. And Doug Basham as
Correct
well.
me if I'm wrong, but weren't you featured in the documentary as well?
No.
Okay, so you weren't featured in the documentary.
No. Netflix was about a year ago.
Okay, so my other question is, if the big time were to give you a call, do you have a specific brand you would like to go to?
Yeah, for sure. Are you meaning like within the WWE or just the three big companies?
Okay. Now another question. Give us a day.
What?
Give us your
Hold on. Were you meaning? Hold on. You said which brand would I sign to? Were you meaning within WWE, or were you saying like AEW, TNA, or WWE?
either or.
So in WWE, I would definitely like to start off at NXT so I can kick Brian Pillman Jr.'s ass. He's one of my mentors. If you go do some research in 2020, 21, I traveled a lot with him to various events. And I kicked his ass in his bedroom before he became all famous. Well, he was always famous, right? But before he became really famous with AEW, I had a time with him. So it would be full circle to go to NXT and kick his ass. As a TNA, I would love to go to TNA. I think I can make a great story with them. I think it would be a great place to grow and to show my talents to the world. And of course, there's AEW. I wouldn't say no to that as well. I wouldn't say no to any of the companies that would like to sign their icon.
Oh, always great to build a brand. Now, my next question is my final question, and then I'll hand it over to Ricky. Give us your daily workout.
Okay. So my daily workout is about consistency. So what that means is I might wake up and I tell myself that I have to do something to better Icon every day. And I've done that. I've woken up with that energy and that mindset for the last 7 years. So, I mean, I've already done 200 push ups today, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the gym today, but I might go to the gym tomorrow. But every day I do something for my body. So that keeps me ahead of the competition. It's kept my body looking like I'm still 21. I've actually looked better than I did at 21 now. It's a clean diet. I eat an apple a day, but like I said, it's not the fact that I eat an apple a day. It's that I have to eat a fruit or a vegetable or something every day. I start my day off with that, and maybe like a black tea. Then I'll fast a little bit, and I'll eat a lot of protein, a lot of clean, um, a lot of clean fruits and vegetables, rice, grains, chicken. I try to stay away from pork. Now, I'm not saying that I don't cheat every now and then and eat, a fast food burger or a five. When I mean fast food, I mean like Five Guys or a Culver's, something like that. Not a McDonald's burger, guys. I'm not a sheep, but I just consistency. So when it comes to working out, it's always going to be something every day for me.
All right. Now, Ricky, you got any questions?
Multiple questions. So first of all, you said the Undertaker inspired you to become a wrestler. So kind of a double. It's a double question. So how quick did you get into training to be a wrestler, and did you find it easy?
So it's like a journey. It's really crazy the way I look at it. Maybe it's just me that looks at it this way. But I went to school at Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida in 2016. And so that's when NXT had just started popping off. And I had already been watching wrestling since I was at 12. So that's like 8 years. And then I'm at college. And then there's Full Sail. And I didn't even know, because I don't know. It was so new, like the internet, 2016, like things were promoted, but like I just wasn't paying attention to that. Oh, I'm going to college and WWE NXT is going to be there. So when I got there, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, I could actually, how do you do this? And so a freelancer there who worked at NXT, he told me basically, if you're serious about this, you're going to have to go to a wrestling school. And so I did the big boy decision and I left Full Sail University. I went to my counselor and I said, listen, this isn't working out. Computer animation, which I'll get back to it later. It did work out because I do like computer animation. But I let her know, I was like, WWE's here. I think I can do this. I've been an athlete my whole life in high school. I think I'm going to go pursue this. So I left Orlando, Florida. I went back home to Cincinnati, Ohio. And that's when I enrolled in the NWF, Cincinnati, Ohio Northern Wrestling Federation. And so that was my entry into the business right there. I had to find a good school. And interesting enough, I actually went to OVW first, but they were closed. And it was actually an hour away from my house. So I just was like, okay, I'll find another school. I went to OVW first. I could have went there, but they were closed. And so when I went back home, I saw the NWF, and that's when I locked down. I hustled. I made my commitment. I went to training Tuesday and Thursday. And then I traveled with the company every Saturday, paid my dues, built the ring, learned how to build a ring, learned how to take the ring down. I took a lot of bumps, a lot of rolls, a lot of everything. And every year I kicked ass on social media, building my brand. I created Icon before I even had my first match. I was already Icon in 2018. And then they gave me, I got my first match. And then that's when I met Pillman and I started traveling to different states. And you just put it all together. And then I moved to Louisville, Kentucky. And that's now, and then I did some stuff around here, and then now I'm at OVW. So it's like full circle. It doesn't seem like I've been doing it for 7 years. It's just like one big dream chase. So what's after OVW, right? Some say the contract. We'll see.
So speaking of OVW, obviously we all know who started it. The great, well, I like him, some people know Jim Cornette. Has Jim Cornette come in and given you any advice, or is he nothing to do with OVW anymore? I know he does his podcast, but has he come in and give you any advice whatsoever?
So interesting enough, your icon he's around so many stars in his career. No, Jim Cornette, I've not seen him at OVW, but I did interact with Jim Cornette on a movie set last year in Louisville, Kentucky. There's a film coming out about a female wrestler. I'm not going to give away the title or anything, but I'm casted as an extra, so you might see me pop up. But Jim Cornette is actually one of the commentators, or he might be a scorer or something during one of the matches. So I did pull him aside. I got a picture with him. It's on my Instagram. If you scroll, I post so much. You just got to scroll to about 2022, and you'll see it. He basically just said I have a good look. He said I was jacked, I was ripped. Shook my hand, gave me the for the culture picture. And that's the most I've ever interacted with Jim Cornette in my life. But he doesn't know his icon exists. So there's that.
I do know that some people hate him, some people love him. I like him, but it is what it is. So obviously, today's OVW, Al Snow, the man himself. What advice has Al Snow given you? And obviously, he's had many gimmicks. Some have worked, maybe that was successful, but he's been wrestling for years, and I do think he's got a great wrestling mind for the business. He really gets it. So, what advice has he passed on to you?
So my interaction with him when it comes to advice came after a match that I had. It was a scramble match. I had put someone in a submission move, and he wondered why I had did that. So backstage, he gave me the advice of intent. We always want to have the intent of why we're doing something, right? So in a match, why are you kicking someone in the head? Why are you putting him in a hold? Why are you suplexing this person? And so he put into me the idea of making sure that everything that I do, I have an intention to hurt that opponent in the ring. And it's not just because I want to do that move. It's because I need to do that move for a certain purpose, for a story to tell, to use sheep that follow. So that would be some advice that Al Snow has given me that I'll take with me for a long time.
Like I've said, you've kind of just, I suppose, confirmed in what I thought. In that Al Snow really gets like you said, the wrestling business, and each move means something. And yeah, I think he could be a trainer in NXT. What do you think? Do you think the same? Do you agree, or do you prefer he's staying in OVW?
I think he'll be good at whatever he wants to do. You know, he's already a legend. I think once you're already on, and what I mean by on, I think once you're already a star in the world, you kind of you don't really fall off. I think you only keep growing with your artistry. So if he chooses to go on to NXT, then I think he will be a great hand for them in training the future of our business.
Most definitely. Speaking of the future, the now Lexus King, you may know him as Brian Pillman Jr.
Excuse me, my king. I'm so sorry. You're right. It's the Lexus King himself.
Yeah, which I think is a much better gimmick than Brian Pillman.
Of course, he wants to be like the promo king myself. So he calls himself the Lexus King. You know, I wonder how that happened.
I watched really little of AEW, so I know very little of him in AEW, but I think he's much better in NXT. But so, what advice has Brian Pillman passed on to you? First of all, what advice has he passed on to you? And did he try and get you into AEW, or did you feel like you weren't ready for maybe the big AEW scene?
No, I'm definitely ready for everything. Trust me, I'm very ready. Brian Lexus King Pillman Jr., he told me to always get in the car and travel. So, you know, when I travel, I always go back to when he told me that that's the most important thing to do in this business is to travel. I try to make sure that every year have a booking that's at least 500 miles away from where I'm located. So Texas, I know I just got back from Georgia about a month ago. So that's what he's instilled into my heart of hearts, and just to travel as an independent wrestler. But no, I'm always ready. Now I'll kick his ass in the ring. Come on now.
TJ asked earlier, what brand would you want to go? Would it be Raw, SmackDown, NXT? And then you said NXT, which I think is a great choice. I personally think NXT brand, it's on fire. So if you got the call from WWE tomorrow, they said you've made it, you're coming to WWE. Who would your first target be in NXT? Or would you just want to come in and do a couple of matches just to feel your way around the NXT scene, or would you have someone in mind that you want to face?
The Lexus King.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll say
That would be
another
a great
former.
start. I mean, it would make the most sense. I would be able to. It would just make the most sense. Why not? You know, there's literally footage of me kicking his ass in his bedroom, and he's my mentor. He calls himself he's the Lexus King. I call myself I'm the promo king. So it would make sense to me to start against him. He needs somebody. He needs somebody to spark him up. I think he's getting overshadowed by the other boys.
Yeah, he is, unfortunately. Another former AEW guy, now WWE guy, former NXT champion, Ethan Page. Have you faced him in the past? And if so, what advice has he passed on to you?
I've not faced Ethan Page in the past. I've ran into him at different events. Haven't really had much time to talk with him, though. Unfortunately, he is a great talent. I respect him and what he does and how he approaches his opponents in that ring. It's really good.
Well, definitely, he came straight into the title picture. I'm going to think of more questions as TJ asks more. Hopefully, TJ's got more questions.
Well, my other question is for you. What's your ultimate goal?
So my ultimate goal will to be make sure as many people see me as possible, and that will take a lot of effort from not only myself but from other entities. And I also would love, once I'm done with all of this, to get into the movie industry and basically be in horror movies and suspenseful movies and thrillers, things like that. That's the end goal.
One of the segments here on the podcast is just movies, so I love that you've brought that up. And also, I like that your direction is horror movies. Obviously, most people would say they want to be The Rock and make Hollywood blockbuster movies. No, not that horror movies aren't big. So yeah, that's a very good avenue to go down. Okay, two questions then. So first of all, what is your favorite horror movie?
Ooh. Well, I just saw Terrifier 3. That was very, very crazy. I like the Jigsaw films, man. I do like the original Texas Chainsaw. The one with the grandpa. But I would definitely, if I was to pick, I would say the Jigsaw franchise. But that's more of like torture. I like The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, that's good. Obviously, I like Hannibal Lecter. I love Hannibal Lecter. Silence of the Lambs. I love all of them. I don't really have a favorite. I like them. I like them all. I can watch them all the time. Like Smile is about to come out in theaters. I'm gonna go see that. I just saw Terrifier 3. There's a couple of titles that are coming out. See, I have the AMC Movie Pass, so I can go see any film I want whenever I want. Yeah, it's the icon privilege.
Jigsaw. sorry to interrupt you there. I apologize. My apologies. But the Jigsaw films are good, but are they making the 11th one next year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Consistency. The 10th one was good. The 10th one was like a rebirth of the whole franchise. It told a great story, and it brought him back, and it made sense because it brought her back as well. The female antagonist. But yeah, the 11th one is going to be good, and I wonder how they're going to, with Terrifier being so bloody and gory, I wonder what they're going to have as surprises for the audience on the 11th title.
I do think they are running out of traps because once they can only make so many to you saying, oh yeah, you've seen that in another movie or it's done a little different, you've seen it. But for me personally, the greatest horror movie ever, if you class it as a horror, Jaws. It is horrific in that and it's real life. A shark can come along in the ocean and just gobble you up.
Jaws has a good film score. I think it's the film
All-time
score that makes the movie.
All-time classic movie. It's one of those movies personally I could watch 10,000 times and it's still good. So we see that you're holding the championship over your shoulder. You did allude to it earlier that you knocked off your opponent last night, but please do tell us more about that. Who was the person that you beat last night, and what future opponents have you got?
His name is Big Back Party Mike Howard. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. He's a very strong, big boy, country farm raised, eats a lot of beef, very big, very strong, very tough. However, he's very stupid, and he was dumb to think that he can come into my domain at Elite Wrestling Alliance and dethrone me. No one's going to dethrone me because I bring in the numbers for this podcast. This podcast is seen by millions of people all over the world. You just follow it on Facebook and you'll see that. And I'm the champion. And since I've had the championship, I've made it more relevant than the previous title holders. I defeated Adrian Alexander, who is actually one of the owners of Elite Wrestling Alliance. So how about that? Defeating the owner, right? Can't get any better than that. And so I went on to take this title all over with me. I've taken it to Georgia, taken it to Detroit, Michigan, taking it to Kentucky, Ohio. I take it to Wisconsin. And that's how it's going to be. I take this title with me so that it remains relevant because that's the name of the game. It's not about how many you do it. It's about what you do with what you have. And that's what I do. Just like this podcast, I'm going to clip it up and I'm going to promote it and share it. And everyone's going to hear me put this title over on this podcast because that's what we do, right? We put things over, and no one puts things over better than me.
A massive thank you for that. Highly appreciated. So you say you've been to all different states.
Podcast in all the lands, right? It's the most electrifying podcast in all the lands. So of course the icon has to show up, and that's what I do. I put things over.
We
So
know you, Icon.
You said you've been to all different states, but would you come to a different country? And obviously, more importantly, would you come to the UK to defend that championship?
Yeah, I'm actually getting my the book passport in a couple of months. It should be around January or February. So yeah, I just need a promotion. You guys get the promotion to book me, fly me out or whatever, because that's an expensive trip. But I'll go ahead and put in the effort, and I'll train my ass off, and I'll do what I can do. I have 15,000 followers. They try to say you have to sell the tickets, but like I said, we live in a different time period. So, if you bring me out there, I can't guarantee that I'm going to sell the tickets, but I can guarantee that I'll put over the promotion. I'll put in a promo. I'll promote. I'll pay to promote. I'll do everything that I can to make it worth bringing me out there to you guys.
Are you familiar with Progress Wrestling? I know they've done shows over there. They do shows around the Wrestlemania weekend. So
yeah, I am very familiar.
Get yourself booked on one of those shows because I think you're the ideal guy they're looking for. You help them, they help you. I think you would fit right in. But I've got a ton of before we get into your sponsor, we've got a ton of promotion here for you. So first of all, this is how people book you, but do let people know how to get in touch to book you.
Yes. So to get in touch to book me, you're going to go to iconleewrestler@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead, and if you contact me, I'll go ahead and send you in a detailed resume. I'll send you a list of promos, custom photos, my matches, which are everywhere on the internet as well. I post my full matches when I can. It's mostly all the time. I have a match coming out tomorrow. It is against Party Mike Howard that I mentioned earlier with Elite Wrestling Alliance. It'll drop tomorrow at 9 p.m. You can also reach out to me at Icon Lee on Instagram, at Icon Lee on Facebook, and at Icon Lee on Twitter. And that's just how it is. I'm there. I got the blue check mark. I'm very noticeable. If you see me, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm ready to work and make some magic.
And also your YouTube channel. You're also on YouTube, and
yes, please subscribe. Subscribe to Icon Lee. Like I said, I try to post all of my content. It's kind of like I use social media as one big platform, and everything kind of gets the same. On Facebook, I'm more vocal. I type a lot. You get more of my thoughts, my inner thoughts on Facebook. On Instagram, it's more direct. It's more my matches, my photos, and my content. And of course, on Twitter, it's a mix of both. YouTube, it's kind of like Instagram. You're just getting the direct content. So subscribe to that, and you will get the direct content. If you don't have all the other social medias downloaded, you can always subscribe to my YouTube, Icon Lee.
So yes, definitely subscribe to that. And before we let you go here, obviously your sponsor. Any guesses why I've got this can?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. But you are sponsored by C4, the same energy drink that sponsors WWE. So please tell us about that.
I am the only independent wrestler that is sponsored by C4 Energy outside the WWE. And I got that sponsorship. I'm very proud of the people at C4 for directing me to the right people within the company to get that. You can use my code IconLee at C4Energy.com. Go ahead and get the new Jolly Rancher or the Hawaiian Punch flavors in bulk and get 25% off at the checkout by entering my code, all capital letters, ICONLEE, IconLee. And I appreciate any sales and any effort that goes my way.
So those any fans of C4 energy drinks, or the fact that it's sponsored WWE, it's sponsored by it sponsors WWE, not the other way around. So any fans of that, that's the reason I've got it. It's just Roman Reigns energy drink, I suppose. So
Roman Reigns' code. We're going to use the Icons code.
That is right. Icon Lee, 25% off, which I think is a great deal, of the new Hawaiian Punch, and what's the other drink?
Jolly Rancher. The candy Jolly Rancher. I don't know if you're familiar.
I've only had the Millions one, which was nice. It was nice, but yes. So Icon Lee, 25% off, a great big deal. And TJ, do you drink C4, or do you avoid energy drinks at all costs?
Well, C4 is way strong for me. Like, if I drink a C4, I'll be up for 3 days.
Really? Funny. Do you drink? You prefer a Red Bull then? Red Bull?
No, I don't drink Red Bulls at all.
That'll give them wings.
No, if I had those wings, I would fly to the sun and be like Icarus.
Fair enough. Each to their own. I drink energy drinks, but yeah.
That's probably explains why you stay up all night.
Before my matches.
I'm going to stay up watching Raw and SmackDown and AEW and so please, everybody else, we'll just quickly promote it all again. Icon Lee YouTube, like and subscribe to it. Do book Icon Lee. There are the details right there if you want to book him on a show. And I will try and get you on a Progress show. No promises. I can only ask. I'll try and book you on a Progress show. It might be probably when they come over to the States, probably for WrestleMania next year now.
Yeah, give me a date. And I'll keep you posted with my I said my PayPal. That too, because they'll have to pay me. But I'll keep you posted with my passport. And once that arrives, I'll definitely be able to lock in a date. And yeah, I think especially with Progress Wrestling, that my fans already know what that is, so it would be like hand in hand, like OVW is. And I'd be able to knock it out of the gate with whatever they gave me, and promote the hell out of it.
And Ricky, make sure you get his Instagram so you two can communicate between each other.
Icon
Lee, yes, sir.
Give me one. I'll answer that in a second, TJ. But let me just finish off the thought I had was so. Icon said the date for Progress is usually WrestleMania. They do it WrestleMania weekend, which is whenever next year. 10th and 11th of April, I think, next year. But obviously they do shows here, they do shows in Manchester, they do shows in London. So of course, if they want to book you, they've got to pay for your passport. They've got to pay you, of course. So I will try and get you on the show, but no promising.
I do have a title match. I'm defending this bad boy against Reality of Wrestling future star Marty Clay. So next year is going to be a very kick-ass year, and I'm definitely looking forward, man. I would love to come out to the UK and make a lot of money off those sheep. Those sheep want to see their icon.
So Reality of Wrestling is Booker T's company, isn't it? I think.
Yes, Reality of Wrestling, yes, sir. In Texas.
As far as Instagram goes, I barely put anything on there. It's more Facebook, really. But yes, everyone that wants to follow.
If you want to collab with me on a shot of this, on a clip of this, we can. I'd advise you to, do that with me. I think that would be great. Even if you're not on there, you collab with me, you'll be on there.
Okay, then I will. Yeah, we'll sort that out then after later on or tomorrow or something. But yes, people do follow him on Instagram and on Twitter or X. Call it what you like. And like I say, 25% off. Use the code Icon Lee on when you go to the checkout on the new Jolly Rancher and I forgot already. Tropical Punch, I think. Hawaiian Punch. Close enough.
Not too long ago, I was drinking Hawaiian Punch C4. It's pretty good. I like it. It's one of their top flavors.
And certainly, do you want to really promote your YouTube? Because I've watched some of your promos on YouTube. Fantastic. Like you say, you're the promo king. Really, really good at promos. Yeah, I can't say enough for them. So, Icon, so your YouTube just one more time here. So there it is.
All the sheep out there in the world watching, all the sheep who will see this, follow your icon at Icon Lee on YouTube. Subscribe, Icon Lee. It doesn't get any simpler than that. And I look forward to seeing many of you in the future.
And it's just a press of a button, completely free. Yeah, like, subscribe if you want some great wrestling content and some great promo content. Head over to Icon Lee's YouTube channel.
And thank you for joining us, Icon. It has been a pleasure. We hope to see you again in the future with more gold and more title opportunities.
That is right. So yes, a big thank you. Big thank you for doing this. So a big honor getting to interview an OVW wrestler. So yeah, so a massive thank you for doing this, and I'll catch you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yes, and big thank you to Icon Lee, and let's get on the rest of this podcast. Let's quickly speed through it because the first segment is, and Marcus isn't here to call it, so you will have to call it, TJ, because it is if I can find the video. This.
What's cooking at the table?
That is right. So very quickly, we all know what I do every single week. Go to the gym, and I believe that you've got back to the gym. We'll talk about that in a second. And the craft thing I go to. So I made quickly Hell in a Cell poster for the Hell in a Cell last weekend, and the people's pumpkins. It's like the Brahma Bowl and a pumpkin for Halloween coming up. So, two questions. What have you been up to? But first of all, do you go to any Halloween parties or anything like that?
Well, they're going to have some Halloween parties at my job. The organization I belong to, we're doing a sip and paint Halloween party, and my best friend's going to be in town, so we're going to go out for Halloween.
I just stay in. It's very, very cold over here right now. It's only going to get colder. So
So the place I'm at, the weather actually doesn't really get cold. It only gets cold for like a month or 3 weeks down here, and then it's warm the rest of the year.
how close are you? Far away from Florida? I know they just had the
Well, I'm about
hurricane.
I'm a 4 hour drive from Florida, so yeah, I'm far enough from Florida.
So you don't feel any after effects or anything.
Like, no, I may feel like the wind blow, but unless the hurricane is coming straight for Louisiana or Texas, I won't really feel it.
So you've been to the gym, so please do tell us. I'm saying it like it's an interview. Sorry. So tell us. So yes, you're back to the gym. So tell us about that. Yes.
So it took a while for me to get back to the gym because I really haven't had the motivation since I moved. But I went to GNC. You know what a GNC is, right? So GNC is a protein store where you buy your supplements and stuff for the gym. You do have supplements?
I personally don't, but we have
I
them
would,
over here.
well,
Yes.
I would recommend you take supplements, Ricky. That way it would improve your effects, not steroids, but supplements. The supplements help your body make like the protein it needs to get its goals. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to lose or gain?
Again, like the Rock.
Okay, so I would definitely recommend whey protein and creatine for you. Like you drink the whey protein and creatine after like 15 minutes after you work out, because that way your muscles are breaking down and it'll break down the creatine and the whey protein. But you gotta increase your eating, your proteins, like your chickens and your rices and your eggs. You gotta increase those proteins and wheat. So that's what I would recommend.
Do I have to cut out cakes and well, for you it's
I
candy, for
mean,
me it's
I mean,
sweets, and I don't
I
like.
mean, I mean, you could have a cheat day, but do it sparingly.
Every day is a cheat day for me. I eat lots of junk food, but
'Cause that's what's probably setting you back in the gym.
it's not fun eating healthy. It's boring.
But also,
Anyway,
I would recommend pre-workout too.
what's pre-workout? I just go straight lift the weights. That's
So
it. Do nothing.
pre-workout, so you drink pre-workout with like water or juice, and within 30 to 15 minutes, your body will get this tingly feeling, and you'll have like energy all over the place to work out in the gym. It'll make you feel like you're the tribal chief.
I
Actually,
just go.
correction. You'll feel like the final boss. Your body will be electrified.
I go straight to the door. Do about 5 minutes on a bike. Straight onto the weights. That's it. Um. So what else have you been up to? It's been a couple of weeks since we've seen you.
Just
And
work, 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 work.
so they've been working you like a raw dog. That doesn't make any
Yes.
sense, does it? That made no sense. I just tried to make it wrestling, and it didn't work. I failed miserably. But the next segment here, of course, is quickly done. Is all the news from Hollywood, Nollywood,
And Bollywood.
and Bollywood. Oh, yeah, I got it right that time. Roll out the red carpet, turn on the cameras because it is movie talk. So, as always, 3 movies I've watched. The first one, all these really good movies. I probably would have gone to the cinema to watch them. I probably wouldn't have minded paying to watch them, but I didn't. I watched movies for free. First one, Harold and the Purple Crayon. Kiddie movie, but very good. Have you watched any movies in the last couple of weeks or any documentaries or anything?
Nothing. No new documentaries have popped up just yet or anything. But I have been watching the American Football League.
Do you watch baseball? Last time Marcus was on, he was watching baseball. Do you watch baseball?
I don't watch baseball. I watch football.
I know very little about American football, so I know that Gronk played.
He played for a team called the New England Patriots.
Did Mojo Rawley play football before going to WWE?
I believe he played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he played for University of Maryland, my home state's big college.
And The Rock, obviously, Miami, Reigns, Atlanta for some reason.
And Brock Lesnar was the Vikings, I believe.
I know Goldberg's done it. There was lots of wrestlers. Goldberg, Ron Simmons, Farouk.
Baron Corbin.
Braun. Braun Breaker didn't. I was thinking of that promo that James did. Braun Breaker had a very short career in American football. Second movie I watched, Trap. Now that's a good movie. I think you probably like it, TJ. Kind of, he's a psycho killer, but he's very well thought out. He's trapped. I'll just briefly say what it's about. He's trapped at a concert, and then you slowly realize, oh, it's him. He's the killer, and then he tries all these ways of how to get out. Then you realize it's his mother of how he is. But yes, really good movie. And the third one, Deadpool and Wolverine, really good. X-Men's in it. Fantastic Four's in it. Every superhero you can think of, unless it's DC, is in it. So highly recommend that.
Okay.
Do you like superhero movies or no?
I do like superhero movies. I'm more biased towards DC, but I will be more open-minded towards Marvel in the future.
Superman's DC, isn't he? Superman and Batman.
Is. My favorite Shazam, actually.
Yeah, it was good. Batman is hit or miss. Superman's hit or miss. And of course, unfortunately, the big flop with The Rock, Black Adam.
Yeah, you don't mention that. You don't mention that movie to The Rock.
And he and everybody thought, oh, it's going to be a massive success because it's The Rock, and it wasn't. I enjoyed it, but that's just me. But then The Rock could make anything, and I would say he could. I have been to a show today, so very quickly just address that. Well, let's quickly go through that. Then I'll play an ad. So let me play this video here.
It is now time for Wrestling Days Out with Ricky Goldman.
That is right. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Wrestling Days Out with Ricky Goldman. Did pick up myself a poster, free poster. I did the VIP ticket. So that'll go somewhere in my vast wrestling collection. Localish to me, cheap. They've got VIP, so front row seat, ringside photo, poster, raffle ticket. Cool show. My next one is this coming Wednesday at WWE. Now, they've just relocated my ticket today, and I was like, because I've never been to this arena before, so I was like, what section is that? But there's a website that you can look near enough to where you sat, and it's a good view. So thank you. So I think it's not sold out. So I think that's the problem. So I've kind of benefited from it not selling out. I think the tickets were expensive for it though. I think I paid £70. I think it was £75 for me. So that's about $150, is it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how much WWE is when you've been to WWE, haven't you?
Yeah, but WWE shows usually go from like $40 to maybe $200, $300. But unless it's WrestleMania is like $20K per front row seat.
Yeah, I think more than that. I think next year one of the tickets, I think about 5 rows back, that's 20,000. Front row, you're probably talking 50, and guess what? People will get it. So, which is insane. But then again, this is why WWE very quickly. This is why WWE just don't try, and they just put anything on the card because people aren't going to go. Well, I'll pay 50,000 for a ticket, and they're doing Cody versus Braun, for example. Well, I'm not going now. People are still going to go no matter what the card is. So WWE can charge what the hell they like, and people will go, ooh, and still go. Which is good and bad. Good business, but bad that they just don't seem to try anymore. Add one of two, then we'll get into some wrestling chatter, so let me play this. So that is right. We are what? I think someone put on Facebook the other day, about 10 Mondays away from Christmas. Wow.
Yes, and with that, ho your way on down to Ricky Goldman's Excellent Tees to get you a pro wrestling tee made and sent to you.
That is right. So if you want to keep your family, your wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, children happy on Christmas morning, you don't want them moaning and complaining, Protein Tees is a way to go. I'm on my socials on screen right now. And before me, like and subscribe. Get me to the next milestone of 390. Now just 6 away from 390. I'm never going to be a Logan Paul. He works very, very hard, but who knows? One day I might be. But yes, Protein Tees Goldman to make your entire family happy Christmas morning. Because if they're complaining, don't come to me and say my family's complaining.
It would be nice if my friend across the pond sent me one of his tees.
Yeah, but that means I would have to buy one, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
And then I would have to send it to you where your Protein Tees is there. So then, okay, I could send you money so you can buy it, but then it's going to come quicker to you.
We'll talk. Yeah,
because he would have to come here, and then I'd have to send it to you, and then you'd be waiting 3 months. So I've ordered T-shirts from Protein Tees. I think I was waiting about 3 months. But it is time to lock up entrances have been made, the people are sat, and the bell has rang, the announcements have been made, and the ring is ready for us because it is this.
It is now time for wrestling.
Get ready to get scoop slammed, headlocked, and elbow dropped. It is Wrestling Roundup.
That is right, Wrestling Roundup, and we'll quickly start with the other company because I do want to go over the pay-per-view, and I do want to quickly. I'll quickly go over it, and then I'm going to get your thoughts on the main. Well, Daniel Bryan, not so much retiring, but on his way out. So very quickly, so starting with. I'll find it somewhere. I'll find it in a second. So, starting with Dynamite. Hologram knocks off Commander. I like the Hologram getting a good push. He also picked up a victory at the pay-per-view, which I'll go over. Willow Nightingale getting a number one contender shot by beating Jimmy Hayter, Saraya, and Nyla Rose. That should have really been Jimmy Hayter, but okay. Cody Chun lost to Jay White. Jay White built momentum heading into the pay-per-view. Mercedes Moné, was on the no, she was on the pre-show. She was on the pay-per-view, but didn't defend her title. But she did defend on Title Tuesday. I'll get your thoughts on the ratings in a second. So I'll get your thoughts on that. But she did defend her title on Title Tuesday against Emi Sakura and retained. And Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta defeated Pac and Claudio Castagnoli. I'll say a bronze. So the ratings, for those that don't know, 3. I'll be generous about it. I might add. I'm probably going to bump it up here. I don't know the exact number, but I think it was like 330,000. Damn. So your thoughts on that quickly? Your thoughts on this was such a low rating for Dynamite.
To be expected. Next.
And they came up against it. We'll talk about it this later. Also NXT, but in the second hour, there wasn't like NXT wasn't groundbreaking. Rampage. So the conglomeration go over the Undisputed Kingdom. They're getting the greatest push in the world. Amira lost to Chris Statlander. The Butcher did the same to beat Mortis Lance Archer over Matt Brannigan. And Brian Keith over Rocky Romero. Bronze. Very quickly, the pay-per-view. Let's take a deep breath here because it was 13 matches. Wonderful.
Wow.
It was like a wrestler. Now, I will say, as I go through this, the matches were evenly. Well, the match. Okay. The matches and the match times were evenly paced. There was no match that I thought, this is going on way too long, get it done with. And very little hardcore stuff, but still 13 matches. So the good bits on the pre-show that AEW does is, this show was good. I will say it was good. But usually the good bits that they do on the pre-show is just like lost in a world of bad. Anyway, quickly. So, Brian Cage is your new Ring of Honor TV champion by defeating Atlantis Jr. Cool. Anna Jay went over Holly Cameron. Botch fest. Certainly the finish was a botch. There's just some women that shouldn't be in a wrestling ring and some women that shouldn't be on a pay-per-view, regardless main show or pre-show, and Holly Cameron is one of them. The Acclaimed, and I'll get your thoughts on the debut of Rico in a second. I know we talked in post-production, but you can just say your thoughts again if you like. So the Acclaimed knocking off MXM Collection, which is Mansoor and Mace, doing the same gimmick as WWE. We saw the debut of Rico. I would have had MX Collection win. I lost to the for the Acclaimed, would have done nothing, wouldn't have hurt them. But there we are. So your thoughts on the debut of Rico in AEW?
It's good to see Rico back around. You know, for a time he was a police officer in Las Vegas, but it's good to see that nostalgia act around. Maybe he's gearing up for hopefully Triple H will notice him, so he might get a Legends contract in the future, and so we can start singing, "Oh baby, you look so good to me." Also, he's actually kind of one of the inspirations behind Danny.
Oh yes, I was thinking, who's Danny? Your character. I was
Character
thinking
in the
more
East
in
eggs.
WWE. Who's the Danny in WWE? Right, I was a bit lost. Now I know. That thing you were just singing, great theme and great gimmick for Billy and Chuck. Just like they were. Oh well, okay. They had an odd gimmick that they weren't really dating. Odd. They were like male models, kind of like maximum male models, but yeah, they were good. Brilliant Chuck. And finishing off the pre-show, very much thrown together, the Outrunners and the conglomeration of Dark Order and Premier Athletes. Okay. Jay White got the win against Hangman and Page. Shocker right there. I thought Page had this. Any thoughts to add here? Okay. Mariah May retaining against Willow Nightingale. Cool that Willow got the title shot, but I don't know the match sequence, but oh no, I do. Jack Perry retained against Ciabatta. They protected Ciabatta. He had Jack Perry in like a lock. He got pinned, and that's how Jack Perry won. So he retained, but Ciabatta was also protected. So AEW doing good booking. Has hell frozen over? It probably won't last, but yes. Something I think is very good, and I always botch his name, and I'll probably botch it again. Konosuke Takashita, your new international champion. I love this. I think he's right. For me, I think he's really good. Taking the title away from Will Ospreay and Ricochet. Again, good booking, a good ending. You had Will Ospreay's best friend turn on him. What is AEW doing with this good booking? I haven't yet. Well, a little bit of burying it, but
Who knows? The time might be turning soon.
Sorry, say that again.
Who knows? The time might be turning soon.
I'm not gonna put out any hope, but maybe because they're now going to Fox, and Fox has said you can't be doing this AEW, this hardcore crap. Or they've learned their lesson from the last show. Either or. Darby Allin of Brody King, cool. Brody King just dwarfs Darby Allin. Then when Brody King is next to Buddy Murphy and Malachi Black, he looks like a normal guy, so they must be huge as well. Hologram in a 2 out of 3 falls match over the Beast Mortis. Hologram's having a good push. Okay, that could have easily main evented any random AW show. Private Party, unfortunately unsuccessful against the Young Bucks. I wanted Private Party to win, take the AW Tag Team titles. They came close and they looked good in defeat, but Young Bucks won. Anything? Do you know? Okay. Do you even know who the Private Party is? Anything to add here? Okay, move on right then. And only 2 matches to go. Then we can move on to WWE. Mark Briscoe retaining against Chris Jericho. So Jericho just there now to put people over. Wait, if he keeps if Goldberg, oh god, Goldberg. If they do Goldberg Gunther, which they're probably gonna do because it's WWE, if Gunther beats Goldberg, it means nothing as Goldberg continues. When was the last time he actually won anything? So a win over Goldberg means nothing. A win over Chris Jericho means nothing really. And John Moxley did it. He shocked everybody. New AEW champion, Bryan Danielson, tapped out, but he did tap out. Moxley, new champion, 4-time champion, but I think he looked good in defeat. And for now, his full-time in-ring career's over. Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
No thoughts on that.
And something else that we failed to mention was we had the return of Swerve Strickland. That's for Prince Nana. Prince Nana was there. MVP Shelton Benjamin came. Yeah, the dance is super over, isn't it? Yeah, I like the dance. MVP Shelton Benjamin came out. Everybody was expecting Bobby Lashley. Swerve Strickland just beat up Benjamin, and that was it, really.
Give it time.
I'm gonna give it a silver plus. Go pay-per-view. Let's hope they keep. If AEW improves with the pay-per-views, I'm not going to then start watching the weekly show because the weekly shows are trash and it's too much wrestling. But I was going to be done for this year watching it. I'll see out the rest of this year. So they've got 2 more pay-per-views. But if they improve, I may continue to watch. So, onto the red brand, onto WWE Raw, that is now 2 hours.
Thank goodness. Oof.
Firstly, much easier to digest, no filler whatsoever. You've had people complaining, and it's why WWE don't listen to their fan base, because people complain no matter what. People have said, we wanted Raw 2 hours. Give you 2 hours. No, we wanted 3 hours. Make your mind up. And then when it goes back to 3 hours as rumored next year, there'll be no, as on Netflix, there'll be no, make it 2 hours.
No, it will be on Netflix so people can pause and freeze it.
But people will still complain and say, no, 2 hours was better. Those same people that said, no, they want it to be 3 hours. So, my first question there is, was it much easier for you as it was for me to digest and easier to watch?
Yes. And I can go to bed at a decent hour.
Until next year when Raw and SmackDown are 3 hours. As per rumor, it might not be. Netflix might see it and go, oh, we can do a 2 hour show, and it wasn't that bad. Who knows? Surely they'd want it to be 3 hours. That means more money for them, but Netflix are $1 billion company. So we kicked things off with Jey Uso, Xavier Woods, good match here, fresh match here, which I always like. Still your Intercontinental champion, Xavier Woods.
You mean Jey
Cool.
Uso?
Your thoughts here?
You met still your Intercontinental champion, Jey Uso. He beat Xavier Woods. So Xavier's going to be turning heel soon. Can't wait to see it. And then once he turns heel, he'll become a target for the White Six.
Yeah. I've said this before and I'll say it again. You're going to have Woods beat Kofi. Kofi loses all the time. Or vice versa. No, well, last match Woods won. Well, it'd be okay. Woods beat Rey Mysterio. Fair enough. In a brutal Donnybrook match, Sheamus, don't call him Butch, he's Pete Dunne. I would have Pete Dunne win, but Sheamus did win. What are you thinking for this one?
I think Sheamus needs to be in the Intercontinental title hunt. He needs that IC title to complete his Grand Slam.
Both he and Bron Breakker, for those that, well, I'll get to this soon later here, those that watch Speed, both Sheamus and Bron Breakker on Speed. I presume it's like they're adding star power because I think this is the fifth tournament. I know you had Andrade win, defending against Bron Breakker. I think they've had the 5th tournament, so he's like, how do we keep interest? Let's add Sheamus and Bron Breakker into it, I suppose. in multi-woman tag team action. Thank God Raw's 2 hours, because they probably would have separated this. You would have had these two in 2 different matches, and it's put it all together. So, Lara Valkyria, Zelina Vega, the KC's Kane got a Katana Chance, and Natalia went over Pure Fusion Collective and Unholy Union. If Raw had been 3 hours, you probably would have got the
I acknowledge them.
would have got KC versus Unholy Union, and then Lara and the KC versus Pure Fusion Collective had Raw been 3 hours. But it wasn't, so they just stuck it all together. What did you think of this one?
That's what I think.
And your main event. We're at the main event already. Sami Zayn, Gunter, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Sami Zayn had me convinced he was winning. Thank God he didn't go with the rumours of Goldberg costing Gunter the win, and that's what people thought was going to happen after Bad Blood.
Thank goodness.
Sorry?
Thank goodness Gunther won, because Sammy's now going to participate in War Games. They're going to actually reach out to both Sammy and Jay.
Yes. Good Raw. I personally liked it. Was 2 hours, no filler whatsoever, no messing about, straight into it. Silver, your rating.
It was silver.
The show that went, well, for the second hour, went head to head with AEW, went head to head with Dynamite, the N, the X, and the T, NXT. Trick Williams came on out addressing his newly won title. Wesley up in the crowd, and then the crowd were yeeting because Jey Uso made his NXT debut. Great way to kick things off. Anything to add?
You know, Jey Uso actually predates NXT. He was FCW. So he was there before. He was there when that whole arena was just blah.
Yeah, I've seen FCW. It's not the best. It's like watching FCW now. It's just it is old, but it's like, oh, that's where they came from.
FCW is like the father of NXT.
In 6 women's tag team action, Fatal Influence taking the L against Kalani Jordan, Bianca Belair, and Jay Cargill. Cool, yeah. Kalani Jordan on the winning side of things.
You know Kalani's going to sooner lose that title to Fallon Henley. And then Fallon Henley's going to get backstabbed by JC Jane.
Do you like that Fallon? I know his mum's down the line, but he's been mums. Fallon Henley turned to I think Fallon Henley turning heel has really worked out well for her as a face. She was losing all the time. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's working out well for her that she could be the girl we can't stand. Because they need somebody to fill that Mandy Rose role.
And people have asked, I've seen on Facebook, people have asked to Mandy Rose, is she coming back to WWE? She makes a ton of money on OnlyFans, so no. Speaking of women, you're still NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez coming out, speaking to the crowd. Cora Jade did. Julie came out, and then Stephanie Vacchia. For those who probably, I'm guessing, TJ, you have no idea who Stephanie Vacchia is. Former New Japan Strong Mercedes Moné has 2 titles, not the TBS title, the other one. She took off Stephanie Vacchia. That's really all I know of her.
I've heard of her.
So it looks like we're getting a triple threat at Halloween Havoc, I would have guessed. Your thoughts on all this segment of Roxanne, Cora, Stephanie, and Julia?
So I think Cora's going to sooner. Cora's going to sooner backstab Roxanne, because I think Corey's going to take the title off of Roxanne.
I think Julia, well, not jumping in, well, okay, I'll reveal this prediction if this is a match. If it's triple threat, I think Julia takes it at Halloween Havoc. Speaking of championship action, earlier you saw the women's North American champion, now you're seeing the men's North American champion, Obafemi, lost. But he lost to Tony D'Angelo. Hard fought win for Tony. I like Obafemi. I don't like that he lost, but go on, your thoughts.
I think it's time for Obafemi to go to the main roster. He could be a beast on the main roster, go up against the likes of Gunther, Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, and sooner or later, the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar when he comes back.
Yeah, I agree. You can't go after the NXT title because the NXT champion is face and Ober's face. So even though Ober and Trick would put on a good match, so
no, Ober's heel.
Is he?
He's just over with the crowd. He's just
right then.
heel, but he's just over with the crowd.
So that makes Tony. This is why Marcus was confused several weeks ago about the family being heel and North Catch, what they're called?
No Catch Republic.
No, Charlie Dempsey.
No Quarter Catch crew. No Quarter Catch crew.
It was a family versus them, and who's face, who's heel.
No Quarter Catch crew's heel.
So I'm confused. Poor Marcus who's new to any team, even more confused. Then the second hour that did indeed go head to head with the other company. So tag team action, still your NXT tag team champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazier by knocking off SmackDown's A-Town Down Under.
The cracks are continuing to show between A-Town Down Under. It's only a matter of time before Austin Theory punches Grayson Waller.
You see, each time that I think they're going to do it, they don't. So maybe they're just waiting for that point that you think, oh, they're never going to do this. And then they do. You had Sexy Red.
Yeah.
No idea. The only I know over that I've seen it on NXT and Raw. Okay, no. Okay, we forgot. Whoa, no, I'm totally jumping ahead here on Raw.
She's okay, a rapper.
We forgot. So we forgot something on Raw. We forgot. So, okay, you had Sexy Red talk, and then he's went into the video package for Bad Blood. But after that, something we've forgotten, so let's discuss this. CM Punk came out saying if people are going to take a month off, and then Seth Rollins did, addressing Bronson Reed. So your thoughts on both of those, both CM Punk and Rollins?
CM Punk and Rollins are going to happen at WrestleMania. It's only a matter of time. But right now, Seth has to focus on Bronson. Because Bronson's coming at him like a natural disaster.
Is it time? He can be. Well, yeah, he's got the Earthquake look, and he wears kind of some of his gears like Earthquake. They'll play happening at Crown Jewel, which makes the win bigger for Reed, but he should have beaten Strowman. Anyway, yes, you had Sexy Red in the ring. Eden Page came out, cut her off, which led into your main event. The Viper himself, Randy Orton, in his home state of St. Louis. Oh, God.
Missouri.
There. Took on Javon Evans. Javon Evans missed it because he was meant to come off the ropes and get hit by an RKO. Orton just picked him up, RKO'd him anyway, picked up the victory. Even though Javon lost, still a big win he faced Randy Orton, one of the all-time greats. So Your thoughts on that, and my rating will be for NXT probably the same as Raw Silver. So your thoughts on Orton defeating Javon and your rating.
Well, it's a teachable moment for Javon. Javon's still young. He has a long way to go in his career. So that was just Randy Orton giving him his props because that was his hero. But anyway, I give it a silver.
And let's speed through the next two matches because it is speed. So I don't know when these were filmed because they're not filmed live. Speed is filmed before SmackDown for those that don't know. They put two matches up, so I'll just go over the two matches. Candice LeRae getting the 1, 2, 3 and Kairi Sane. Candice LeRae going to the finals to defeat Io Sky. And Candice LeRae is now your first ever Speed Women's Champion.
Congrats to
Silver.
Candice LeRae.
So say that again, sorry.
Congrats to Candice LeRae.
It's giving her something to do, I suppose, isn't it? It's just... But when is that title going to be defended? Because the next tournament is a men's tournament, so... she's won it, but she's going to defend it in 10 years' time. Not 10 years, but... Now let's open up the people's door, walk in right up to the counter and slap and smack down the person behind, because I want a rock burger and a smouldering shake because it's Smacky D's time. You have the return.
The people love it.
You have the return to SmackDown of Jimmy Uso, and then our tribal chief Roman Reigns. Very good way to kick off SmackDown. This kind of just built to what happened later on. Your thoughts on the opening?
Thoughts on the opening? This is the beginning of Roman's arc. Roman always felt like he was on top, so now he has to learn how to rely on others. It's going to be interesting to see where his pride takes him.
We kicked off with, we had two championship matches on SmackDown. There's a champion match every week now, which unfortunately makes that matches meaningless because they're every week, or there's three brands. Anyway, and you're getting one on Raw.
They're fighting champions. That's what they are. They're fighting champions.
But getting one every single Raw.
And they're mid-card titles.
I like the women's tag titles getting defended. I do like that. But I don't know. Title matches should be spared very sparingly. But they're every week over getting one and at least one over the three brands. It's just another one. So your first of two title matches saw LA Knight retain against Carmelo Hayes because Hayes is in a never-ending circle with Andrade. Now, Hayes Andrade, the rematch should be on pay-per-view, but I bet he's not. But he's on a random SmackDown. They could do that at Crown Jewel, but they won't. Yeah, like I've said this before, I'll say it again. LA Knight has really improved in becoming champion. No shocker here. Anything to add?
Nothing to add. Great match.
Kevin Owens stormed the ring, then got on the stole the headset. Here comes Cody Rhodes trying to look all tough. Randy Orton got intervened, accidentally hit Owens. So I like this because, but we've still got no reason of why. I like it, but I hate it all at the same time. I like it because it's making you ask questions and making you tune in next week. Why did Owens turn heel? We all know why he turned heel because there's no heels for Cody. That's the reason. But okay. Now you got Orton involved. Any thoughts to add there?
No thoughts. I just want to see how the story progresses.
Second title match of the night for the women's tag team titles, main roster versus NXT, because it was our favorite tag team. What is it that? I don't know. Is it this?
Yeah, metaphor.
That Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson challenging Jay Cargill, Bianca Belair, coming close to winning here. This was a nice, decent match. I liked it was on SmackDown rather than just a random NXT. Still tag team champions, Jade and Bianca. They now want to face Damage Control on Raw tomorrow for the titles.
So no, it's also interesting because Metaphor can now has a rivalry with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven.
Yes, yeah.
As as you know, Lash Legend, she axe kicked Chelsea over that table.
So yeah, she did, and hopefully this is the call up to SmackDown of Lash and Jakara. 'Cause I think they've done all they can in NXT really, and I don't know when Noam Dar's back, but yeah, hopefully this is a call up. But I bet they do that match, Chelsea and Piper versus Metaphor, this Tuesday on NXT. Speaking of women, Nia Jackson, Tiffany Strong come on out again. Continue to build. Tiffany is going to turn that heel face turn is very just coming at some point. Out comes Naomi. Out comes. I'll get your thoughts on the Crown Jewel title in a second. The fantastic Crown Jewel title. Out comes Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley chases her off. And then Naomi defeats Nia Jax. Great, cool, big win for her. I'm going to say what I always say about Naomi. Give her the title. She gets these wins on SmackDown, and they just go to nothing. And you know she's not facing Nia at Crown Jewel, because she's facing Liv Morgan. So yes, your thoughts on all of this, Naomi going over Nia and the setup to the match?
Well, I like the fact that they have Raquel Rodriguez playing the Kevin Nash role and Liv being kind of like Shawn Michaels. And I guess Dom is Eddie Guerrero.
I suppose.
It's kind of like a medley of things, but also the fact that we now see that Liv is the mean girl now, and Nia is kind of like the face between them. But I think my thing is I think Nia and Liv are going to be in war games against Raquel and Liv. Not no Nia, no not
another.
no not yeah Nia and Rhea are going to be against Liv and Raquel. My bad.
And they need, if they're doing Foul of VAR, they need another 3 on each team. I think Natalia will be on one thing because it's in Canada, and then who isn't 50? Who isn't 50? Sorry,
It'll be Pure Future Collective. So it'll be Pure Future Collective for Liv's team, and then it could be Natalia. It could be Selena Vega. Basically, everyone that Rhea Ripley had an issue with, and me
so. So Pure Fusion Collective in Natalia, Selena is 50-50. Okay.
Triple H Cook.
Okay, but I suppose who isn't outside of Rhea and Liv, who isn't 50-50? So I suppose they've got to pick somebody. Your thoughts on Naomi going over Nia Jax?
Needed win for Naomi.
And your thoughts on this Crown Jewel Championship?
It's a championship. It looks kind of AEW-ish, but it's a championship.
Do you like are you a fan of the concept? The two champions facing each other?
Yeah, I do like the concept because War Games is going to be more storyline oriented.
Neither should be losing so frequently. Liv should not be losing. Okay, it's a meaningless title. The title means nothing if you lose it. If whoever loses, and because it's meaningless. But Liv shouldn't really be taking the loss because that looks bad on Judgment Day. Nia's just won the title. I know there's no titles on the line, but still shouldn't be losing. Gunther shouldn't be losing, and in booking sense, Cody shouldn't be losing. And this is why the Raw SmackDown matches never worked when it was team versus team or champion versus champion, because then you had a brand or a champion just looking weak, and it usually just did nothing with them. So, the title looks nice, but no one should be losing. Even though it's a meaningless title and it still means nothing, they're going to win the title and go, yay! There you go. And give it back to Triple H until next year.
No, I have to take a picture with you pointing at it and then give it to him.
Okay, he'll do that. And then give it to him. But they're not going to carry this title around. The title win really means nothing. It screams we've got no one for Cody. Let's drag out Cody and Owens as much as we can.
Now leave it. All right, now leave it alone. Let's see what happens after Crown Jewel, because after Crown Jewel, Cody's going to do the War Games thing, help out Roman, and then after that, he'll go after Kevin Owens, and then it's going to be Randy Orton. Listen, give it time. We can't predict what will happen. Any given night, Ricky. Any given night. Stop trashing Cody.
I think Cody goes after Owens at Crown Jewel Survivor Series, because that's how I would book it. Why would Owens not want Cody for the title, and why would he not want that? Anyway, in a booking sense, that's what I would want if I was Owens. So, speaking of the main event on SmackDown, Cody wasn't there, but Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, brother versus brother. Solo Sikoa with a win here, much needed win. Out comes Roman Reigns to make the save. He got beat up. And then in nice cliffhanger, they said, we need to make the call to, many people are thinking Jay. Other people are thinking, I don't want to butcher his name, Hikuleo. I think it's Hikuleo from, God, what's it? New Japan? Is it New Japan? He's part of the Gorillas of Destiny.
Who knows?
So, your thoughts on Solo getting the win, and who do you think they're making the call to? Is it Jay? Is it Hikuleo?
Or maybe Sammy. But we'll have to see. I think it might be Jay.
My rating for SmackDown, Silver Plus. Your rating?
Silver.
And very quickly, level up. Only 2 matches. Tatum Paxley go over Kelly Armstrong and Gallows, so they're doing nothing. Defeated and beated Cutler James and Charlotte Hill. Bronze Plus. So we play one more ad here, and then I've only got one piece of news. If TJ's got any news, great. But there's only really one piece of news this week, and it's not news, it is news, but we'll discuss it anyway. So, let's play this.
To never miss a second, never miss an upload, never miss anything I do, and never miss when I go live doing Watch Parties and my brand new podcast. Live Wednesday nights at 8 p.m, the Reigning Rock Podcast. Add me on Facebook, Ricky J. Pete. Whilst there, search on Facebook, WWA World Wrestling Alliance. Follow me on X at Ricky Goldmans. Head over to Pro Tees and search Goldmans1, and head over to my YouTube channel, search, like, and subscribe to the People's Wrestling Channel. That once again, the People's Wrestling Channel.
And that is right. So on my socials, do as the text says, do as it says on the screen right now. Check out all my socials, like and subscribe. You did hear that, yes, podcast are Wednesdays. That is incorrect. As you've seen right now, it is weekend, Saturday or Sundays. The next one should be the 20th, hopefully. Next Saturday, hopefully. Yes. So let's get to one piece of news by playing this right here. So news channel is ready, and so am I. So let's get this done.
News
So,
and headlines.
Give me 1 second. Where is it? Yes, news and headlines. So the only really one piece of news this week is, and he could be, he couldn't be, the final boss, The Rock, out of WrestleMania next year. The always reliable source of Dave Meltzer confirmed it. The Rock himself has said it's all bullshit and don't believe it. That's really the only piece of news I've got. So The Rock could or couldn't be out of WrestleMania. If he is in it, they're looking to do a triple threat: Rock, Reigns, and Cody for the title. Your thoughts on this?
No thoughts.
And have you got any news or any news that I might have missed?
No.
Okay then, so that's it for today. Like and subscribe. It's been a little while since you promoted your friends'
Yes,
Instagram. Do you want to promote that?
Yes, Championship Culture. My frat brother Brandon has a wrestling channel called Championship Culture that promotes all things wrestling championships and the history and lineage of all the titles. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Championship Culture.
And his YouTube, The Real Wrestling Realm Returns. It is yours, isn't it? Or no?
No, that's his other YouTube. That's a wrestling. The Wrestling Realm is a fantasy YouTube as well.
Right, but that's your friend, isn't it?
Yes.
So the Wrestling Realm Returns and Championship Culture. And I think that's it. So like, subscribe. What must they do, TJ?
Like, comment, subscribe, acknowledge, and continue to electrify.
That is right. And TJ is going to say catchphrase right now. That side.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, acknowledge, and electrify. This is TJ Thaddeus coming to you live from another bitch's business with all the wrestling knowledge and power.
And as always, if wrestling is the game, certainly is for me. Wrestling. Sorry. Let's start that again. Let's rewrite the script. Let's tear that script up and rewrite it. If wrestling is the game, excellence is the name, and excellence is
Ricky Goldman.
Ricky Gold.